for the vacant WBA Light Flyweight World Championship. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, entering the ring wearing yellow trunks with blue and red trim, fighting out of and representing Cartagena, Colombia. He weighed in at a ready 107 1/2 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with 26 wins, no losses, 23 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the WBA number 8 ranked light flyweight contender, introducing the hard-hitting and undefeated Beibis Mendoza. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner, this 12-round vacant championship bout. He is wearing blue trunks with white trim, fighting out of Managua, Nicaragua. He weighed in at the light flyweight limit of 108 pounds even. His outstanding record stands at 27 wins, only 1 defeat, 1 draw, with 17 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the former WBA 105-pound champion and the current WBA number 1 ranked light flyweight in the world, introducing Rosendo El Buffalo Alvarez. Once again, Mitch Halpern is our referee in charge now to give instructions.
All right, gentlemen, this will be clean. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Both sets of trunks are high. I'm going to call right here.
Okay.
I want you to obey me at all times, okay? Touch gloves. Let's go. Good luck.
Rosendo Alvarez knocked down in his last fight by a Mexican named Tomas Rojas. Alvarez came back to win by decision. Overall, very busy, well-schooled, hard-punching, aggressive boxer, good counter-puncher off the jab. Mendoza, not a fast starter, but once he gets going, he punches well. 8 straight knockouts, 14 of his last 15. Colombian boxers known to be quick and talented with good boxing technique. Mendoza in the yellow trunks, hoping to be the second Colombian to win a 108-pound title. The first, Mauricio Pastrano, who beat Michael Carbajal in 1997. Alvarez, one of those guys, Bobby, who usually gives the fans their money's worth.
You know, he's a guy that likes to fight. He comes at you. He's got a good chin. We saw him with Lopez. Floored him with that big overhand right. Good chin, good power, good endurance. He brings a lot to the table.
And he's hungry for another world title. While he feels well prepared, in excellent shape, he told us he was training for a southpaw. Found out about Mendoza just last Friday. Hasn't seen Mendoza fight, but feels that the 2 wars with Lopez have given him the experience and confidence to handle just about any situation.
I think after you fight Ricardo Lopez twice, and as close as both of those fights were, you should feel pretty comfortable taking on any fighter.
And he told us you'll see the same Alvarez tonight as with Lopez. Mendoza, highly motivated. He wants Ricardo Lopez, but he knows he has to get past Alvarez first. His cornerman, Nelson Fernandez, told us, and it's tough to verify, as we mentioned, that Mendoza's knocked 2 of his last 3 opponents clear out of the ring.
Well, you can see he has heavy hands. Even with his jab, he sticks it out there, and he means to hurt you with it. Throws pretty good combinations, real crisp. We'll see.
Got a lot of power. His KO punch is the left hook.
Keep it up in there. I want it up. I want it up.
Alvarez, though, with tremendous power as well and a terrific chin. You think Mendoza has the power to knock Alvarez out?
You know, I watched Ricardo Lopez, who's one of the premier fighters in the business, not just boxing, but punching-wise. Hit him all night twice. Never got him off his feet. The fact that he's been off his feet shocked me a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be too easy to keep him there.
The book on Mendoza in the yellow. Good technician.
Warn you, I want it up. That was on the leg. Go.
Little caution there for a low blow by Alvarez.
That was his second caution, and Mitch Halpern will not stand for it.
Mitch Halpern, tremendous ref who officiated the Tyson Holyfield 1 epic.
Step back now, step back.
Mills Lane, of course, working the ear-biting incident. We asked Mendoza what he learned from watching Alvarez fight Lopez. He said he learned he has the qualities and tools to beat Alvarez.
Second warning. Next round, taking a point.
Another warning to Alvarez. He said, next time I'll take a point.
I'll tell you what, I thought that one was borderline. I thought that one was on the belt line.
Mendoza feels Alvarez is there for the taking. He's susceptible to his favorite punch, which is the left hook. And there it was. And a right uppercut to the stomach by Mendoza. He does hit hard. Some good exchanges here in the opening round, scheduled for 12.
Keep it up, right?
Come on, go in, Freddie. Go in. You go in, Freddie.
We're going to take a look at the warnings of where the punches are landing. That one was clearly low. Now we're going to take a look at another warning. That was, as Mitch Halpern said, was on the leg. And the last one, that one did look low too. I thought it caught the belt line, but that was low. Alvarez is going to have to keep him up because the point's coming away immediately.
¿Okay? Mueve la cabeza, mueve la cabeza. Cintura como has hecho todo el tiempo. Si tú eres mucho más vivo que él. Un pie enfrente del otro.
Freddie Roach in the corner of Rosendo Alvarez. Boy, nearly early of round one was fought in the center of this 20 by 20 foot ring. Big ring for these little men. Let's see if Alvarez takes it up a notch now.
Well, I'll tell you, the first round he came out a little slow. Just now he came out through some serious punches. He means pick up the pace.
The other day you asked him what he felt his best weapon was. He said, I have several weapons. And I think we're seeing them here in round two. Lefts and rights. Oh, there goes the mouthpiece.
Mendoza lost his mouthpiece from the overhand right. One of the punches he said he had to stay away from.
Alvarez teeing off. Mitch Halpern stopping the action surprisingly while it was still going on.
Give me your mouthpiece. Your mouthpiece. Come on.
Usually, don't they wait for a low and then they get the mouthpiece? But so, yeah.
Normally they're supposed to wait for a lull in action. I believe that's even the phrase they use, a lull in the action.
So this is a big break for Mendoza.
Come here. That's 1 point.
That's
here.
what I thought. That's what I thought it was.
Here. 1 point here.
Took the point away.
I want you 3 times. I want it up. You hear me? Okay. Go.
The obvious admonishment from Mitch Halpern to Rosendo Alvarez, who's having a huge start to this second round, although he loses a point for the low blows.
Well, in all fairness to Mitch Halpern, that's why I thought he separated him, because there were 2 low blows in that sequence. And if that's the case, it's the right time to also put the mouthpiece in.
I'd love to ask him, but they don't let you talk to the refs here. Less than 2 minutes remaining in round 2. Alvarez again with a low blow. But he keeps pressing on and scoring effectively to the head and body of Beibis Mendoza. But Mendoza, very, very little known, is game.
Right now you see a little less offense being offered up from Mendoza. Some of those punches telling. There's a beautiful overhand right by Mendoza.
Alvarez has knockout power both hands. He says he just plays it by ear, though. But boy, he has an impressive overhand right. But Mendoza is feeling the power of Alvarez, who just missed with that overhand right. Mendoza winging left hooks off the head. Here's another left hook off the neck of Alvarez. Good action here in the first 2 rounds. But Alvarez has lost a point for fouling. Low blow.
Let him up. Let him up. Don't punch.
That is not a knockdown.
He just took a knee after being pushed on the back of the neck.
Mendoza with some good defense, blocking punches with his forearm and then countering. There's the jab by Mendoza. Let's see if he follows it up with the right hand.
Break, step back, and easy, step back.
Alvarez is not working in enough behind his own jab. Mendoza's catching him on the way in. He's throwing 1 to 2 big punches, not looking for combinations. He needs power combinations.
And we head for the bell.
Keep him up. Watch the head. Break, step back. Time.
Una lección, baby. Estamos 3 puntos arriba.
Mira, vamos, ya te saco busca aire. Respira.
Watch the mouthpiece come out as a nice right hand, and it just comes right out. Beautiful overhand right over the jab. There you see it. Mouthpiece coming out. Let's take another look at it from a little different angle. First right hand lands not as clean. Second right hand right over the top of that jab, and the mouthpiece comes flying out. Here's the slip or the push down here. He's just pushing on the back of his neck, and basically he just takes a knee. Basically Mendoza just takes the knee.
Mendoza has been under a lot of pressure here from Alvarez over the first 2 rounds.
Watch your heads, Jimmy. Watch your heads. Come on.
They just banged heads pretty good.
Alvarez 27-1-1 with 17 knockouts. The lone defeat, a split decision to Ricardo Lopez. He's ranked #1 by the WBA. Beibis Mendoza undefeated, 26-0. Nice left hook by Alvarez to the head.
Oh, that's you. I want it up now. Come on.
Now it's Mendoza with the low blow.
Break, step back.
You almost can't blame him.
Don't push.
Mendoza, 23 of his 26 wins by knockout. There's a left-right combination to the head by Mendoza.
Pace slowed down for just a little bit, but these guys are lightweights. They throw a lot of punches, can heat up very quickly.
They've gotten their weight up just a tad here. Alvarez actually a junior bantamweight.
Let go.
At fight time at 115. Mendoza at flyweight at 112. Uh-oh. Mitch Halpern didn't like that.
Get in that corner. Come here. That's a point right here.
Another point taken away.
It's a point.
From Alvarez. He's now.
Next time I got to run you. Okay, guys, look at me. Up. Keep it up. You okay?
He's going to have to disqualify him.
It's on the cup. Let's go.
If he continues to do it.
Go.
I think that might be discretionary, that he can take one more point, but after a third one, I'm pretty sure he has to disqualify.
Let go. Break. Step back.
And he's got to be careful not to offer up rabbit punches as well. He just got away with one. Alvarez in the blue. Combination to the head by Alvarez.
Mendoza has been hit with a few decent shots by Alvarez. Not his best stuff. Showing a good chin.
And a good jab and a right hand by Mendoza. He's starting to come on more now.
Let go. Back.
I'm not sure why Alvarez has to resort to these kind of roughhouse tactics.
I'm not sure he's doing the low blows on purpose. He's just trying to work the body, and he's just gauging himself poorly. I really don't think that there's any intentional foul play.
Well, whether it is or it isn't, he's losing points as a result.
Hold on. Watch your heads. Both of you. Watch your heads. Watch them.
Look at these left hands by Rosendo Alvarez. About 4 unanswered punches.
Yeah, quadruple left hook. Head, body, back and forth.
Mendoza with the left jab, but again holding off on unleashing the right. Stiff, straight right hand. And there's a good left by Alvarez.
That was Alvarez's best left hook to date. He really threw a nice shot in there, and Mendoza is showing no ill effects from it.
Mendoza eating a lot of leather, and a lot of his punches are being blocked by the gloves of Alvarez. He landed with the left, missed badly with the right, Mendoza. He's got a snappy jab, Mendoza, but it's one and done.
Easy. Don't push. Break. Get back. Gotta keep it up now. Keep it up, okay?
Respirando, profundo, Rosendo.
Keep it.
Profundo, Rosendo. Rosendo, nos vamos a tener que olvidar del cuerpo, ¿ok? Vamos a trabajar del pecho para arriba, ¿ok? Del pecho para arriba. Doble jab y la derecha.
Watch the low blows. Comes up underneath. There's one by Mendoza, and he got one right back from Alvarez. That one much more cleanly seen by Mitch Halpern. Again, there's another one. There's the first one by Mendoza, but he gets hit back well by Alvarez south of the border.
Okay. Vamos a mantener
Manny Vasquez, our
Olvídate
translator.
del cuerpo ahorita, ¿ok?
The instructions were up, and we're ready for round
break,
4.
step back, easy.
One of your keys to victory, I noticed, was watch for Alvarez's big overhand right. Well, that is certainly a key punch of his. He's been more effective with his left hook, I believe.
Yeah, the right hand got the mouthpiece out and wobbled Mendoza just a little bit early in that second round, but left hook 2-3 in a row was being very effective.
That's you. That's your second warning. One it up. You okay?
Now Mendoza being cautioned by Mitch Halpern. A low blow festival.
Can you disqualify 2 fighters at once?
Who are we left with? Mitch Halpern.
Let go.
Alvarez picking up most of Mendoza's punches with his gloves. He's been effective with his punches, the legal and the illegal ones.
Very impressed with the combinations thrown by Mendoza. He throws them hard, he throws them very clean.
Break, step back, easy.
Good boxer puncher.
Don't push.
Just 25 out of Arboletes, Colombia. He's been down 2 times in his career. His first pro fight in '96 and his third fight came back to KO.
Keep it up. Break, step back, keep it up.
But he's only ranked number 15 by the WBA, yet somehow he manages to get himself a title fight, even though it's for a vacant title.
Well, I'll tell you right now, his ranking's going to come up with the performance. If he keeps this up and fight ends in a decision, win or lose, his ratings will go up.
First title shot, obviously. Alvarez 5-1-1 in title fights. A loss and a draw to Ricardo Lopez. He was stripped of his WBA 105-pound belt after 5 defenses when he failed to make weight before his second fight with Lopez. That was a split decision loss. Good straight left hand right on the nose by Alvarez. Follows it up with a right hand, but it's off the shoulder.
Break, step back.
Looks like Mendoza's beginning to get a bit worn out by all of these punches.
Watch the hands, come on.
And it's understandable.
Mendoza just pointed to his hip too, because Alvarez hit with a nice right hand on the hip bone. Like that, again. And I'll tell you what, they hurt.
Let go.
Right on cue, Alvarez does it again. And he knows those hurt, that's why he did it again.
Yeah, and I do believe that Alvarez pointed it out to him. Mendoza pointed out to him by pointing to his hip. I'm not sure that the hip bone's illegal.
Let go, come on.
Alvarez, not exactly Mr. Clean, but he'll try almost anything.
He's a guy that just likes to fight and let the chips fall where they may.
Alvarez's corner has been telling him to forget about the body and go to the head instead. There's a straight right on the nose of Mendoza. Mendoza nails him after the bell. It's called Paris, Las Vegas. We're at the spacious Grand Ballroom. Later on tonight, the main event, Holyfield Ruiz for the vacant WBA heavyweight title. Big crowd on hand. They're expecting a sellout of about 9,000. It's a beautiful place.
Estás insistiendo mucho en el upper, baby. Metes el gancho mejor. En vez del upper, mete tu gancho, ¿ok?
There's a low blow coming from the other side. Right uppercut south of the border by Mendoza. And he's received his last warning now. Points will start to be deducted from the other side. There's the right hand on the hip bone. Right on the hip. That was actually toward the back. But Mendoza didn't like it and pointed it out to Alvarez. And on that bone, it can hurt. It really can hurt.
Corner. Come here. Wipe this stuff. Pat it down a little bit. Come on, hurry. Let's go.
Too much gook on the face of Mendoza.
Let me see his forehead. Let me look. Okay, go.
They had to wipe off some of that Vaseline. Round 5 scheduled for 12 for the WBA 108-pound or light flyweight championship.
There's that lead overhand right by Alvarez. That's the one that he rocked Lopez and dropped him with. Again, landing it.
Alvarez has such great moves in the ring. Head fake, shoulder feints, setting punches up.
Keep it up.
Again, there's that jab.
Mendoza needs to work that jab more often, come in with a straight right behind it. He has a nice left hook to go with it, which is probably his best punch.
Good flurry there by Mendoza. Alvarez windmilling shots at times.
Alvarez is leaping in a lot, Steve. It's not good for him. He's off balance. This is something that Mendoza pointed out to us in our pre-fight meetings. Alvarez jumping around a lot.
Good straight right hand that forces Alvarez back. Mendoza scoring well there. And then digging with the left to the ribs. Oh, what a left hook off the temple by Mendoza. But you know what? Alvarez didn't even flinch.
Well, we know he has a good chin, but it's not put there to get hit.
He's got a hard head, too.
All right, break it up. Step back easy. Step back. Don't push. Don't push.
Alvarez measuring him out. They bumped heads. They came together.
Let me see it. Let me see it.
Right forehead
go in that corner. Get in that
of
corner.
Alvarez.
Let me see your eye. Let me see your eye. It's accidental. You okay?
Mitch Halpern.
Come here.
Accidental.
Watch your head in there. Both you guys, watch your head. Go.
Looks like there is a little tiny cut there.
And Mendoza looking to take advantage, whacking away at Alvarez's head.
Right, don't punch. Stop. Step back easy.
You know, something I often wonder, Steve, when there are accidental headbutts but no cuts, and the eye swells shut and the fight gets stopped, it should be similar to the cut rule, but it isn't.
And whether it's an accident or not, it screws up a fighter's plans big time.
Oh, yes, it does.
And sometimes raises the level of urgency. Perhaps here in the case of Alvarez, we'll see.
And that can often throw a fighter out of his game plan.
Break, step back. Easy, gentlemen. Step back.
Mendoza doing a nice job of really sticking that jab, like a shotgun jab, as you would say. But just doesn't seem to follow it up with the right hand. Here's a good combination to the head by Mendoza.
All right, don't punch. Step back.
On the inside, he's tying Alvarez up very well. And Alvarez is not moving his hands, keeping him running. If he doesn't, he's going to get this fight and throw it out the window.
Good sequence for Mendoza. He's got very fast hands.
Big left hook to the body there by by Alvarez.
Alvarez's punches are harder. Mendoza throwing a lot in volume there in that round, but the punches by Alvarez more effective.
Respirando, Rosendo, respirando.
We'll see it take a good look at the headbutt. Alvarez always coming in lower, and they just slam right into one another. As Mendoza tries to take a hook to the body, they bang heads. From the overhead, we'll take a look. He dips to throw that hook and slams his head right into Alvarez's face. Take one more look at it. There you see it. I think the blow there that he landed was low as well.
Ruled unintentional. They both came in together.
A perder,
A little
okay?
more feints and head movement, bro.
No le pegues y salir confiado, ¿no?
Manny Vasquez, our
Vamos,
translator.
finteando, Rosendo.
Keep moving, keep moving. You're doing good.
Vamos, Rosendo.
Let's go, Rosendo.
Here we go, round 6. More good action and exchanges in the previous round. Referee Mitch Halpern has had an active fight thus far, stepping in several times, taking points away from both fighters for low blows. We've had heads come together as well. A lot of fouling, a lot of roughhouse tactics. Mostly by Alvarez in the blue. He's a former 105-pound champion going for his second world title.
Keep him up in there. Keep him up.
Mendoza in the yellow is 26-0, undefeated with 23 knockouts. First title fight.
Time!
And now Mendoza is doubled over in some difficulty. He got hit low.
That will be it. The next time it is. You understand me? That'll be it.
Well, you heard it.
You okay?
Plain and simple, very clear.
You okay to go? Right. Next
One
one's
more,
fight. Go!
and it's over. Alvarez will be disqualified.
Well, he's already got those 2 points taken away, which puts him in a big hole.
Break. Get back in there. Easy.
And he right now has to be very, very nervous about even going to the body, Steve, which has to really mess up his plans.
Big right hand to the head, overhand right there, beautifully done by Rosendo Alvarez. Well, here's Mendoza, very gutty. He stands right in there with the hard-punching Alvarez.
Showing a good chin, nice sharp combinations. Mendoza's impressed me today.
Halpern, an excellent referee, one of the most solid refs in the country. Really takes charge. Did a great job in that first Tyson Holyfield fight. And his stock really went up.
Watch your hands.
Pace really falling off here quite a bit.
Step back.
Yeah, Alvarez perhaps being a little cautious. He doesn't want to let fly with a low blow or else he's out of here. Halpern will give him the showers. Less than a minute remaining. Round 6 scheduled for 12. Alvarez with a right left off the head of Mendoza.
Mendoza looks as if maybe he's taking a little bit of a rest here. Just keeping his hands up, staying close, trying to smother the power shots by Alvarez.
Alvarez swarming. But Mendoza, again, very game. They continue to wail away on the inside, toe-to-toe. Look at these exchanges. A lot of give and take here. These are like rock'em sock'em robots.
Nobody wants to give an inch here, Steve.
Like two bulls going at it. Locking horns. Our interpreter, Manny Vasquez.
Mijo, vino el comisionado y dice que ya van 2 puntos, que si no nos van a descalificar.
You have lost 2 points. One more point, we are disqualified.
Okay?
Keep your head up. Be careful. At the same time, make sure that
El comisionado es mi amigo, pero vino a advertirme, ¿ok? Lo que va a pasar, ¿ok?
you're looking good. Don't let those 2 points bother you.
Si él te pega abajo, a circo, ¿ok? Vamos a hacer el circo, ¿ok? Si el tipo te pega abajo, bueno, vamos también a hacer como él.
If he hits you low, go low.
Here comes the last of what should be the low blows before DQ. He just swings wild, and although Mendoza pulled his head down, he's got to get those punches up. Alvarez cannot keep throwing him that close to the belt line.
Bobby, we're halfway through this title fight. How do you see it unofficially?
Well, you know, I think the rounds are pretty close to even, but the 2 points I have, Mendoza ahead by 2 points. The 2 points that were deducted, they gave and take a couple of rounds. Mendoza, points are big.
Mendoza starts out quickly here in round 7, throwing a lot. Big right hand missing by Alvarez. He dug into the belly with that left hook, though. Half hook, half uppercut. On line.
Step back and
through 6, they've got Alvarez up 4-2.
I have it 3-3, and I have Alvarez down by 2 points because of the 2-point deductions.
Fans at home gave Mendoza rounds 1 and 6.
That's it.
That's it. Vince Halpern disqualifies Rosendo Alvarez, and Beibis Mendoza is the new WBA Light Flyweight champion. Too many low blows by Alvarez. And Alvarez, who was probably winning the fight on the scorecards here in Las Vegas. We'll get those for you as soon as possible, but you can see the disgust on the face of Alvarez, and look at the emotion displayed by Beibis Mendoza.
You know, you can't flirt with finality that way. I can understand after 1 point going to the body, but not going to the body so regularly and so wildly after you know 2 points have been deducted, an extra warning was slipped in, and the DQ was imminent.
Tears of joy from Beibis Mendoza out of Arboletes, Colombia.
Colombia. Ay, baby. Mami, viejo. Ay, mamita, vamos a salir adelante, mami. Ya. Mami.
I would venture to guess he's pretty happy, Steve. I never understood anyone crying for joy until I won my first world title. Then I understood it.
Yes, indeed.
Ni un round te ganó, ni uno te ganó.
Really a shame, though, for Alvarez to lose an opportunity for a title in this fashion. But then you see the joy of Beibis Mendoza.
You know, when we were watching it live, it didn't look that bad. But as you look at the replay, that punch is down. That punch is down low. And again, Alvarez needed to pay more attention to where he was placing his punches. We'll take another look at it. And he bends, but he doesn't make sure that punch lands up. That's down. And that's just, it's sad, Steve. It's sad to see a title lost by foul, but for one gentleman who's in the ring crying right now, evidently he's happy enough. Doesn't matter.
And Halpern gave him enough warning.
Plenty of warnings. Can't fault Mitch Halpern for that. As we took one last look at it, it's just a sad thing.
The second Colombian to win a 108-pound title. The other was Mauricio Pastrana, who beat Michael Carbajal. We'll find out, see who was ahead on the cards. Officially here in Las Vegas, the judges Jose Larino of Uruguay, Jerry Roth, Las Vegas, Patricia Jarman Manning of Las Vegas.
He's working out his planning. That's how he won his strategy.
So the vacancy has been filled. At the expense of this man, Rosendo Alvarez, it's 25-year-old Beibis Mendoza of Colombia, South America, remaining undefeated, now 27-0, and his victory comes against former WBA 105-pound champ Rosendo Alvarez.
Was this the most difficult fight of his career?
Let's get the official call from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 1 minute 2 seconds in round number 7. Our referee in charge, Mitch Halpern, stops the contest. The winner by way of disqualification due to low blows. And now the WBA Light Flyweight Champion of the World, Beibis Mendoza.
Yeah, baby.
There it is, winner by disqualification, Beibis Mendoza. Now in the company of Ricardo Lopez as champion. Let's go to Jim Gray. Apparently they've lifted the ban on talking to refs here. He's got Mitch Halpern. Jim.
All right, thank you very much, Steve. Mitch, why did you decide that those low blows were so bad that you disqualified? All of them looked like basically on the belt line with the exception of the very first one in the second round.
That's probably because you weren't getting hit low, but the bottom line is guys get hit below the belt. I warned him, took 2 points away, warned him about 5 times, and I saw enough. That was it.
Do you think that they were that damaging of blows? It didn't seem to back him up, or he didn't call for time anytime.
Well, the 2 times that he did slump over and everything, I gave warnings, and I felt there was enough to disqualify. We have rules and regulations here in Nevada, and we follow them, and the fighters have to follow them. He's been warned plenty of times, and they get talked to before the fight, and you have to follow the rules in the ring, period.
Did Rosendo, you think, understand all of the warnings? It seemed to be very clear to all of us, but why couldn't he get the message?
Well, he understood. Unfortunately, sometimes fighters, some things happen in the ring. I don't know, not in his head, so I don't know what's going on. But he was warned plenty of times, and we did the job we had to do in there.
All right, Mitch, let's take a look at the last one and tell us what you see here.
I just saw a punch below the belt, and after about 5 warnings, it's enough.
Okay, we keep getting the same answer, so I guess that's about it. From Mitch Halpern, we appreciate your time. So we take one final look at it. There you stop the fight one last time on this, and once again you get it. Doesn't appear that bad though, Mitch.
Okay, but again, before the fight, I touched the belt line. I said, this is where I'm calling. And the punch goes below that, that's a foul. And a foul gets enforced in the ring. That's it, period. So.
Appreciate your time. Thank you very much. All right, let's go back to Steve.
Thank you, Jim. I think it's a good call by referee Mitch Halpern. The referee saw it that way. I agree. And the judges saw it Mendoza's way. They had Mendoza way ahead. 57-55 for Jarman Manning. The same for Roth. 59-54 Larino.
I had it 57-55 as 2 of the 3 judges. I think 59-54 is not giving any credit to Alvarez for work he did do. But once again, even the second round, which I gave to Alvarez, he comes back down to 9-9 because he loses a point. Then the third round, which I thought he clearly lost, becomes a 10-8 round. So the 2 points were huge.
Interesting. The fans online saw it differently. They had Alvarez ahead 4-2. Back up to Jim Gray. Jim.
All right. Thank you very much, Steve. John Paul Gonzalez will translate for us. Congratulations. I sure you didn't want to win like this. Were you hurt by all of those low blows?
Bueno, para empezar, felicidades. Posiblemente no quieras ganar de esta manera, pero estos golpes bajos, cuéntanos sobre ello.
A ver, yo sabía que yo iba a ser el nuevo campeón del mundo. Yo me preparé bien, vi unas peleas de Rosendo Alvarez. Se hice el trabajo que tenía que hacer. Yo sabía que Rosendo es un boxeador bastante veterano, pero que el golpe que mal tira yo se lo neutralicé, que era el cruzado de derecha. A base de eso viene muchas películas.
Okay. Well, he says that basically he did a very good fight. He knew that Rosendo Alvarez is a very, very good fighter, and that the low blows were not called for, but he prepared very, very well for the fight.
Was he hurt by any of the low blows? It seemed like many of them caught him on his belt and not below the belt.
Bueno, te había lastimado los golpes bajos porque muchos de ellos te dieron en la cintura, no más abajo.
Sí, me pegó bastante golpe bajo. Es más, cuando el referee no se daba cuenta, él me pegaba. Pero bueno, el referee cayó de cuenta de que él me estaba dando golpe bajo y lo sancionó. Pero yo sabía que iba a ganar por decisión o por descalificación, iba a ganar.
Yes, basically that there were low blows and it hurt him. He said that Mitch Halper didn't see some of the low blows, but that he knew all along that he was going to win the fight, that he was going to beat Rosendo Alvarez.
Would you fight him again? Would you take a rematch?
Bueno, y una revancha, ¿qué tal?
Sí, me gustaría, no sé qué pasa, estoy en disposición, yo soy un guerrero, yo me mido al que sea y para eso estoy trabajando, para eso soy boxeador, para pelear con el que venga.
I'm a fighter, I'm a warrior, of course I'll fight with him again. Anytime, any place.
All right, thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you, John. Back to you, Steve.
All right, thank you very much, Jim Gray, and the big crowd waiting for the main event here. Coming up next, former undisputed heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield takes on #1 contender John Ruiz for the vacant WBA Heavyweight Championship. We go behind the scenes, take a look at both men making final preparations. Will Holyfield have better success getting into punching range versus a John Ruiz as opposed to a much bigger Lennox Lewis? What does Ruiz have to do to be effective against a proven warrior like Holyfield? And not that Holyfield has the hardest punch in the heavyweight division, but what kind of chin does Ruiz actually have? Just some of the questions going into this matchup. Holyfield-Ruiz for the vacant WBA heavyweight title coming up next. Let's go back to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Steve. Now we'll get the other side of the story. Ruben Gomez will interpret for us. Why all of the low blows, Rosendo?
Rosendo, ¿por qué todos los golpes bajos?
Bueno, él anda la calzoneta casi en la boca del estómago. La anda bien arriba.
Remember, his trunks, and we talked about this at the beginning of the fight, they're way up here. You know, that was talked before the fight. The trunks are way up high.
So you feel as though they were not low blows and they were at the belt line and the belt line was too high?
¿Tú crees que los golpes eran legales, pero simplemente que la pantaloneta estaba muy alta?
Eran golpes legales. Yo le saqué el aire en el primer asalto, segundo round, y el árbitro vino y me quitó un punto y yo sabía que estaba pegado.
No, they were definitely not low blows. They were definitely not low blows. They showed in the monitor right on the belt line. I took all the wind out of him in the second round.
Okay, that's all well and good, Rosendo. However, you must adjust in a fight. And you must also adjust to the referee. If you're warned 4 or 5 times and you have 2 points taken away, obviously that's not acceptable to the referee. Why didn't you adjust?
Dice, bueno, obviamente hay que hacer ajustes dentro de la pelea. Si el referee ya te ha quitado 2 puntos, te sigue amonestando, hay que hacer ajustes en la pelea.
Bueno, el otro también me daba golpes a mí. Yo nunca me quejé. Lo que pasa es que él estaba quejándose de los golpes porque le dolía.
Well, apparently he wasn't one complaining. There was low blows on his side, on his part, on my part, and I never complained. And they were.
What would he complain about? Of course he wouldn't complain. He's not the one that's being inflicted with them. However, would he want a rematch?
Dice que si quiere un rematch, una revancha. ¿Quiere la revancha?
Claro, una revancha yo lo termino. Era cuestión de esperar 2 rounds más y se terminaba la pelea.
It was a matter of a couple of rounds. The fight would have been over in a couple of rounds. He had nothing left.
He was losing on all 3 judges' cards. Is he aware of that?
Dice que estaba perdiendo en todas las tarjetas. ¿Sabías tú que estabas perdiendo en las tarjetas?
Sí, estaba un poco fuera de distancia, pero yo me estaba comenzando a poner bien en ese salto, en el sexto round.
I think I was beginning to get the better of him, and it was just a matter of time.
All right, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Of course, with the 2-point deductions, many of those cards would have been all tied up. Steve, back to you.
Thank you, Jim. As Rosendo Alvarez suffers only his 2nd defeat, the first, of course, was to the great Ricardo Lopez. Let's check the online scoring results from our opening bout. The fans at home had Alvarez ahead 4 rounds to 3. The judges had Mendoza ahead, but Mendoza wins it by disqualification. Too many low blows by Rosendo Alvarez, so he's the new WBA 108-pound champion. So we're getting.
Just spit it right in there. Don't worry about it.
Drop your hands. Be sharp. Change your angle. Give him that. Hey, come on. And snap your punch.
So you saw the